Hello and welcome to Elite Spatial. And today we will be looking at how to create a study area map. Most of the times, most students undergoing their undergraduate project, MSc, PhD, just anything academics, and even some articles that is based on location requires to make a study area map. So today I'll be making a study area map of a location in Kano State, Nigeria. So I'm going to take you basics through how I make my study area maps and all that. So you must have data. So this data is OSGov data. That is the Office of the Surveyor General of the Federation, and I have all the state uh, attributes here, where all the 36 states plus the FCT is inclusive, so you can see them. And I have all the 774 local government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria all together here. So, and then I extracted that of just the Kano State. Yeah, so just the Kano State boundary. So I'm going to take you step by step how to produce a study area map. So what I normally do is I'll come to insert and I'm going to add a data frame. So in this data frame, I'm just going to drop down the local government boundary there. All right, so I'm going to insert another data frame, and this data frame I'm going to bring in the study area I'm working on. All right, so I have it inside here, so it's Kano. So I'll bring it in, so it's in. So this is the study area. All right, so basically this is where I'm going to be using. So it's going to be Nigeria to Kano and Kano to the study area. So all right, so here in this local government, it's not all the local government. I'm just going to extract the local government in Kano State. So I'm going to I'm going to right click and go to open attribute, and then I could just go down and make selection of Kano, but I'm not gonna do that today. So I'm going to select by attribute. Okay, so I'm going to select by attribute. So the name is equals to. So I'm going to get a unique layer. So the unique layer will be, oh sorry, I'm going to close it in. I'm going to select by attribute. So on this attribute, I'm going to select state equals to Kano State. So all the ones with Kano State will come up. So I'm going to verify the expression. It said the version is successful. So once I OK, it's going to select out all the 444 local government in Kano State. So you can see that they are all selected. If I click and come down to selection, I saw that all the Kano local government are selected. So I'm just going to right click and come to data and then export data. So I'm going to put this on an output. Let me leave it here. Let me say Kano LGA. So I'm going to save it and then I'll OK. So it's going to import, and then I'm going to remove this one. So let me activate this layer. So right click on the layer and then you activate. So it's just all the 44 local government of Kano State that are all together. So and then this is what I need for this. So now from here I'm going to move into the layout view. All right, so on the layout view I have all of these separated. All right, so now it's my choice to either make this a on a rectangle, or I'll make it on portrait or on landscape. So it's definitely my choice. So depending on what you want actually. So let me not just say it's my choice. Depending basically what you want. All right, so I'm going to expand this as a very big um, column. So I'm not going to go. I'm going to make use of all the available uh, this to make this into what we want to make. Okay, so this person I'm making for wants to have a feel of a form. So the local government containing this image is another thing we need to consider bringing on this. So I'm going to look at which local. I think this is Kano Municipal. So I'm going to extract Kano Municipal from here. So I'll still right click, and then this time around I can only check since it's Kano Municipal I'm interested in. So I'm just going to do that. Select the is the 43rd local government. Excuse me, sorry, in Kano. So I'm just going to export it, right click, and I'm going to export it, and then I'm going to name it as KMC, Kano Municipal Council. Alright, so that will be exported. Yeah. So I'm going to ask it to be included here. Now you see that it's definitely Kano Municipal, right? Okay, so I'm going to uh, clear this off and come back. So I'm just going to remove this from here. So let me remove it, and then I'm going to create another insert. That's another fourth layer now. So in this fourth layer, that's where I'm going to drag this to and remove this. All right, so I'm going to make it like a 4 layer kind of. Okay, so I'm going to make a 4 layer kind of data. All right, so it depends on what you definitely want. So that's what you're going to produce, or what your department or what you're working on actually. So now I have these 4 layers created. So I'm going to start making adjustments to it. That's I'm going to start zooming. So I'm going to start with the study area map area where it's a garden in Kano. All right. So I'm going to also grab this pan tool to make adjustment. All right. So I'm going to do this. All right. So I'm making adjustment to this. So I'll leave it like this, and I'll come to this this one. I'm going to come and activate this one here. So I'm going to activate the so it's on this now. So I'm going to also make adjustment to which scale it's going to be. Alright, so it's currently at scale 100,000. If I add again, it's going to be going up. So let me reduce it. Okay, so I can also decide to add the local government to it so that it won't really be like I just make it as a standalone. So I'm going to do that so that we could name them. Likewise here, I'm going to add the Kano state. I'm only going to add the other state boundary to it so that it will be that we didn't just make it a standalone so that other states participating can be in this. All right. So I'm going to uh, now come here too. I'm also going to make adjustment of the scale. So I'm going to make it like this, then I will leave everything like this. So it's just those adjustments I'm going to make. So I'm going to make this to have the same place with this. I'm going to extend this small. All right, so I'm just making final adjustments so that we could finish up with this production. Okay, because each of them I'm going to add the attribute to this. All right, so I can decide to even put uh, the municipal in this, but I'm not going to do that now. So basically we already have something of this nature, right? So I'm going to make this a hollow. All right, so make it hollow. Okay, let's remove this local government. We don't need it. So just going to make it hollow, and then I'm going to make this a kind of going to make all of them this. So I'm coming to this Kano, the entire Kano now. I'm going to make it maybe let's say it's not Kano, we're in municipal that we're interested in, right? So here we're interested in the municipal. So the municipal will also be in the second version. Okay, so add municipal to it. So municipal is what we are looking at here. So let's zoom and see if the municipal is selected. So I'm going to still make it on the same color, and then I'll make this a hollow. So the municipal is selected in this. So we're only going to zoom this so that we have the municipal selected inside the canal. Okay, so let's do that now. So we grab this, and the idea is to just make sure only the local government close by to the municipal are selected. Okay, now let's bring this down, because here we're supposed to show with the entire state with these other adjoining boundaries. So it's here that we're going to do that. So we'll now make here uh in this. So we're going to now start labeling them. All right, so let's start labeling and doing one or two things to this. Okay, so we'll now pick this. So under here we right click and we go to properties. On properties we are already on grid, so click on new grid, and we'll just make it yes, let's make it that, and then we'll just tick only, then we can just go to finish. So we'll apply and see how it's looking at on there, looking like on it. But the leveling is very small, so we'll go to properties. Now on the property we increase this to 6 to 12, then we'll darken it. Now here is another thing you're going to do, because if you check here you see that, let me okay this so that we see what I'm saying. If you check here you see that this is moving side by side, so we want it to look like this, so we want it to go up like this. So to do that, right click again and go to properties, and then properties. So here you're going to check left and right, so you okay, you apply. So you see that it's done the way we wanted. All right, so we okay, and then we drop it down so that we can have uh so we'll do same to this. Right click, go to properties, new grid, yes, label, then we check to finished, go to properties, we increase this to 12, we bolden it, and then we check left and right. Okay, okay. All right, so we'll make adjustment because they are conflicting right now. We shift them small to the left and to the right so that we can have a space in between them. Okay, so we could also make an adjustment to this so that we can have more space. All right, so yeah, so we come down to this and we do the same thing. New grid, next. Okay, we're only doing labels so that we don't have any. So we'll do the same thing, properties, increase this to 12, bolden it, left, right, okay, okay. And then we do the last thing with this, property, new grid, next, label only, next, next, finish, properties, and we increase this to 12, bolden it, left and right. Then okay, we okay. So now we're just going to make the adjustment we needed. Okay, so we'll make a shift to this. We decrease this small so that we could have space. Decrease this small. We could also make an adjustment to this grading to have enough space and all that. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to label this. So we'll go on, we're coming on the we're coming on the local government, and then we're going to label them now. So we'll go to labels, check on label this future, then it's their names now. Then let's say we bolden it and we check that it should only be labeled inside the polygon. So let's OK it and see. So you see that they are labeled, they have names, like those local government close by it. So it's going to do same. So let's come up here and do the same thing. So we're going to right click on the state layer this time around to know which state it. So we now go to properties, and we're going to check this, and then it's going to be the state name, not the capital. And then we'll do the same thing here, placement. We'll say let it only label it in then we'll say remove duplicate labels. Then we OK. We can bolden it and we OK. So you see the states that are joining to it. We have Jigawa, we have Bauchi, Kaduna, Katsina. I think there may be other states, but these are the only ones showing. And then the Kano itself. Alright, so we come here for the last round, and then right click on the state, and then we go to properties. So here we're going to click on labels, and we'll also do the same thing, saying it should only label the inside. So we bolden it and we OK. So it's going to label all of these states. So once we have all of this, the next thing is we're going to create a neat line. Okay, so to do that, I will just basically come and use the draw tools. So I'll right click if I'm not seeing the draw tools, and then the draw tool is already out. Okay, see it here. So I'm clicking on it, and then I'm going to open this more wilder. So I'm going to make a selection. So, and then I'm going to right click, go to its properties, and then I'll select no color, and I'll leave it. I will do the same thing for this other one here. So I'm going to make a selection. Right click, go to properties, no color, leaving it at one outline. So let's zoom out so that I can make a final adjustment for it to be on the same level. Okay. Okay, so we do the same thing with the layer down, and we will now do the same thing with these layers here. just make a neat adjustment so that you don't uh, flop. Okay, so I'll do the same thing, right click, go to fill, and then remove color and all that. All right, I believe you're getting the now we're getting how we are doing this. So it's just your mastery that will give you an edge when you're doing things like this. Okay, so we still need to name it. I'm going to make a selection all through it and see. So we still need to name the whole of these things. So we have to draw this down. Let's draw them down small so that we could have space. So we're making this adjustment so that we could have where to write name on top. Okay, so and then we come up and make adjustment to these people here. So we okay, so we draw this down so that we could have space to write name. The idea is so that we can have space to write name above. All right, so now we can now say we have successfully produced a study area map, but then it's supposed to bring out not arrow and and uh so to bring out your node arrow, right, go to inside and then add a node arrow. So let me add this very node arrow. Okay, so I'm going to put this node arrow here because of space. So we'll add what again now? So we will now define to add, we begin to add individual uh uh this for each of the sites. So I'm going to add the legend of this site. So the legend in this site will only be states and the states as in all the states in Nigeria, and then the Kano state itself. All right. So let's finish it and then I will drag it and drop it here. Reduce it small. Okay. We come here, we click on this, we activate it, we do the same thing. Legend. This is going to carry these three things. So we'll now go. So we zoom up so that we can place the legend well. So we can place the legend here. And we'll do same thing here. We'll place this legend here. So by activating this and then we insert and we're inside the legend. So it's going to be Kano LGA and KMC. So we drag this and we reduce it a bit and drop it here. So finally, this is the study area, and then it's just it. So basically, we'll now write the name of the study area. So I think my client gave me a name, so I'm just going to go to the WhatsApp and I'm going to check our chat. So he said, what is the name? Let me check it up. So he sent me a sample. Let me check. He said it's no. Okay. Let me check one that was produced for him. It's a map of Nigeria showing Kano State. Okay, so I think he wanted us to write name on each of these. Map of Nigeria showing this, map of this. Okay, now let's do that. All right. So let's grab our text. Where is the text? Okay, it's here. So I'm just going to write map of Nigeria showing Kano State. So I'll okay it. So we do same with here, map of Kano showing. So here will be map of Kano showing the KMC. Is that what we have on? Now we have map of Kano showing Kano Metropolis. That is the KMC. Okay, so uh, map of Kano showing Metropolis. Okay, so grab our text. Map of Kano. What happened? I will double click and then we say map of Kano showing Metropolis, or we say Kano Metropolis since Kano Metropolis. So we okay. So we have to reduce this font or we make it a double line so that we don't interchange with other things. So I'm going to make a change in the, so let me say 6 and apply and see. All right, so that will work. So map of Kano showing Metropolis. So we could darken it as well. So make it bold. It will make it bold so that it can, it can be shown that yeah, it is something there. So we'll do the same to this first one here. So map of Nigeria showing Kano and map of Kano showing uh the metropolis. Then map of the metropolis showing the study area. So making them a uh four map. So let's make this bold and then we okay. And we okay, then we'll come down to the last part of this. We have the map of metropolis showing the study area. All right, so let's grab our text tool and we say, we double click on it and we say map of metropolis showing study area. Okay, so we now okay it, and then supposed to make it dark. Okay, okay, okay. So and then we have the study area as well. So and I've already make adjustment making it down, so I think we don't need that anymore. I think we're supposed to just make, well, I have to adjust them back up since we've been able to create all of this. I think we no more need uh so let me still adjust them and finally save them. Okay, so that we could find a way of putting everything that we want. So this can be come down here. So let's make an adjustment. So let's zoom to make adjustment, all right? So I have to also reduce this, and then we move this up here, and then we can decide to increase this since we have space now. And then we find a place of putting this. Uh, let's reduce it and put it up here somewhere. So we'll still reduce this so that this can enter. So that this can enter, okay? Is that okay? Okay. So we have this put here, and then we are good to go. So it can be three times, it can be a three kind of map, like it can be just Nigeria to the state and then to the study area. It could be something of this nature. Depending on what you or your supervisor wants, you have to follow. All right. So basically, this will bring this tutorial to an end. All right. So I will take any comment, take suggestion. If you have any better way of making this or anything, just reach us up on the comment section and we will take new duly consideration. This is sponsored by someone who has been disturbing me to make a study area map. I've decided to do this to benefit everyone who is in need of making a study area map. All right, so this is the end of this tutorial, but before we go, let's export our map. So I'm just going to come up here, and then one more thing you need to do is we're going to create a neat line that will cover everyone. So I'm going to create a neat line from here. I'll cover it down to this one. So I'll right click, go to properties, and then yeah. So okay. Now I'm not going to zoom to check and make an alignment. Okay. I think it's not aligned. So we could align this to this. So then we align this one to this. So we check this side and we align. Then we also align this to it. So now we have a neat line that covers the entire map. So right click on the file and then we export map. So we're going to export it either as a PDF or as a JPEG, depending on what your client wants. So I'm going to do that as JPEG, and I'll also do that as PDF. Okay, that's exported. So I'll go back there, export, and this time I'm going to put it as PDF. Then I'll still put KMC. So just finish exporting. All right, so take care, and consider to share our video, like, comment, and watch it over and over and over until you understand. Thank you, and I love you.